my name is Neal Peters with Surface Cleaning Innovations. I wanted to take a minute and talk a little bit about setup on a Manta Ray 20-inch machine for use in the field. This will also apply if you have a 15-inch machine. The only difference is just going to be the width of the machine. So to get started, make sure you have all the parts before you head out into the field. That's going to be your tank assembly mounted, 2 rods, the axle non-fluid, and then the fluid delivery axle, which will look like this. It'll have a cap on it and be rounded with holes in it. I'm going to show you how to mount that in a minute, but on the side of the machine you're going to have a cover with an actual knob to actually screw it on. And then when you get into your brush assembly, make sure you choose the right brush for the actual carpet type that you're cleaning. And I'll go over brushes in a separate video. We're going to use blue today because we're cleaning a standard commercial lube pile. And then lastly, Manta Rays come with catch basins. They are designed to mount on both the front and the back. We highly encourage you to mount them on both sides, but at least on the back side. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about, first of all, take the tank off. We're going to show you how that works, and then we're going to mount the brushes, and then we're going to mount the tank back on. So first of all, to get the tank off, you're going to need to disconnect the electrical assembly. If you come to the right side of the machine, you're going to see 2 cords that come out of your pump housing. So disconnect it by pulling the low voltage cord out, and then unplug the high voltage cord from the actual power handle. You're going to see 2 green bungee cords holding the tank down. Just simply lift it up on both sides and lift the tank off. But before I go to that, make sure the fluid delivery, if you've already have this actually installed into the fluid axle, make sure it is disconnected. Then you simply lift it off. To reconnect your power supply, you're going to take your low voltage and plug it in to the side of the pump housing. Then you're going to take your high voltage wiring that comes out of the pump housing and plug it in to the right side of the actual handle power box assembly. The center cord is actually your main power supply to your engine, and then the cord that's on the far right is actually your power cord going to your wall supply or an extension cord. So to mount the tank, you're going to simply slide it in place in between the 2 green bungee cords, and you'll feel it seat up. You're going to take each bungee cord on each side and simply lift it up to secure it, and then we highly recommend that you move it around just to make sure it's good and seated. To mount your brushes, first of all, a little bit about the brush. We have a patent pending delivery system on each of these brushes. When you see the actual pattern, you're going to see little gaps in the brush. Those are actually the holes that are in the core of the brush that are made to deliver the solution. They go from the end cap to the end cap. Both end caps are sealed, so you're going to get a nice controlled environment. We do recommend after each cleaning to flush a little water through it, depending on what kind of chemistry that you're using, just to rinse out the brushes. The way you mount these brushes, you're going to have 2 brushes, obviously. The back brush is simply going to go on the back. You're going to take the non-solution control or delivery rod, and you're going to mount it from the right side of the machine. Make sure when you install these, getting the other opposite side lined up can be a little bit of a chore, but it'll eventually want to go in. For your fluid axle, it's the same, but it's going to be a different axle, and it will actually install from the right side of the machine. I think the hardest part sometimes is getting these to line up. Then you're going to rotate it up, spin it around, and then remount your tank if you've so chosen to install the brush without the tank on. make sure when you run your delivery system there's going to be a hole in the side plate that this is designed to go through, and then it's going to loop over this bolt and straight into the delivery system. This prevents kinks and allows for proper delivery without any issues. Should you need to take the fluid axle out, this is a quick connect. You're going to press down on the little ring and simply lift up. When you seat this, make sure that your hose and your fluid line is cut flat, no angles. So when you put it into the quick connect, you get a good seal. If you look at this plate, there are going to be U notches in here which are designed to hold the actual fluid control axle without it spinning. So make sure you seat this. You're going to see it seated right here. Once it's seated, you're simply going to secure it with the knob.